I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it.
The mandate given by the First Presidency and the presiding bishopric is to only focus on financial growth. EPA employees are told that the money will be used after the second coming of Jesus Christ or during Armageddon right before he would come again.
One of our brethren some years ago spoke of the payment of tithing as fire insurance. Nonetheless, the word of the Lord is clear that those who do not keep the commandments and observe the laws of God shall be burned at the time of his coming. For that shall be a day of judgment, a day of sifting, a day of separating the good from the evil. I would venture a personal opinion that no event has occurred in all the history of the earth as dreadful as will be the day of the second coming, as fraught with the destructive forces of nature, as consequential for the nations of the earth, as terrible for the wicked, and as wonderful for the righteous.
We do not say that all of the saints will be spared and saved from the coming day of desolation, from the atomic holocausts that surely shall be.
1. The Savior will return to the earth in power and great glory to reign personally during a millennium of righteousness and peace. 2. At the time of his coming, there will be a destruction of the wicked and a resurrection of the righteous. 3. No one knows the time of his coming.
Continuing the quote, we testify that he will sometime return to the earth, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. End of quote. He will rule as King of Kings and reign as Lord of Lords, and every knee shall bend and every tongue shall speak in worship before him. We bear testimony as his duly ordained apostles that Jesus is the living Christ, the immortal Son of God. He is the great King Emmanuel. All who celebrate the birth of Christ, all who have what we call the spirit of Christmas, have a portion of that light. Over 1 billion people will celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ during this Christmas season. The whole world should do so. It is time for us all to do so, for every day we are one day closer to the coming of the Lord. As President Russell M. Nelson taught us last October conference, quote,
in the coming day, Jesus Christ will return to the earth as the millennial Messiah, or the second coming. Do you see what is happening right before our eyes? Second coming of the Lord. Jesus Christ will govern from Old Jerusalem and the New Jerusalem, built upon the American continent.
Travis Wayne Goodsell. There's a reason why the church is cyber terrorizing me by giving the orders through the Strengthening Church Members Committee. All these latter days. This is the final year. We're waiting for the final events on earth as the signs in the heavens have flooded the heavens this year, and especially this month. The church is the enemy. I've already established it as fact. I've done the research. I've done the videos for you. If you're brand new and you're shocked and horrified and you think that attacking me to defend the church and their criminal operation is Jesus's plan, dear God, that's how you're the enemy. The second coming of Christian interpretation needs to be understood for what it's telling you. Jesus Christ, according to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, lived as a literal history person in the Jewish prophetic scriptures of their Christ of the latter days, but instead during the Roman period of time. You can't change the interpretation and therefore claim it's now true. If you want to make your own scriptures for your religion, you need to do that. You don't need to steal the Jews, change them, and then say now they're right, because before the author was wrong. You're using the author's book, but you're saying the author is wrong and you're going to change it. It's no different than taking the TV series Heroes and having the money to change it. The same stories, same characters, but now it means something completely different. And the Heroes did it too. They have the solar eclipse that is about to come in season 3. I know what the ancients understood solar eclipses for, but Heroes, the script writers, are specifically using it for a different interpretation. It's wrong. It's like the show is wrong. Dear God. Could be greatly improved if they get rid of psychology. Nonetheless. And so, Jesus' second coming is mass murder. Do you not understand that? Burn the wicked? Really? And he's the perfect judge, so he knows who's been naughty or nice. He's going to murder people. It's not the wicked that have consequences of their actions. It's Jesus is going to do it. The consequences of wickedness is Jesus physically burning people. You're not listening to this? You're not comprehending what this means? And then you have McConkie saying, not all of the saints are going to be saved from the nuclear holocaust that surely must come. Well, wait a minute. So Jesus is going to have some collateral damage of righteous people? Isn't he perfect? Oh my God. Listen, people. Don't just accept whatever they tell you. And don't think about it. You're supposed to read, ponder, and pray, but then produce the results. What would be the results of what they're telling you to believe in? You're not doing that. The Strengthening Church Members Committee is not doing that. They don't care about the consequences. The church gave them an order and they must be loyal. So, this specific video, I've yet again got a confirmation. Because not only is Jesus the mass murderer, he's a coup of government. But we're talking about mass murder on Christmas. And so we have got another confirmation. This was already in the news back in 2019. And when I heard about it, I knew it was significant. And then Oaks would come out in 2020 and say, nope, 2020 is just a test run. Thank you, Jessica. Nonetheless, technically, thank you to Mindy, who emailed that other guy who then did a video on it, and YouTube thought that they would punish me by only recommending Mormon channels. Again, AI is the stupidest person in the universe. It's supposed to know what I want, what I watch, and then it bases its algorithms on that. But nope, it can't. It is stupid. AS. Artificial stupidity. And dear God. And so, 2019, Kim Jong-un takes the legendary horse ride on a white horse to the top of the mountains of North Korea. This is a legendary thing in North Korea. And so, yes, this was a massive event and a death threat to America. Kim Jong-un was known to be testing ICBMs and seeing if they can carry nuclear warheads. And right before Christmas that year, after Nelson would come out and says, hey, we've rigged the algorithms of the search engines, and social media, God. The name change. He says he's going to he warns the U.S. to prepare for a Christmas gift. Christmas is on the 25th every single year. Christmas came and went, no gift. What happened? What happened? So this was significant. This tied to the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. I did those videos. White pale horse, Kim Jong-un. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, yep, yep. And so, yeah, Kim Jong-un is the red horse, obviously, communism, red China. Putin is what was the other one? You have the pale, the red, the black. Black was Trump, because it's hilarious. He's a racist. And then Putin is that other one, whatever that other one was. What other color was it? God, I gotta do all the work. Now, which chapter was it? Was it 8? During the 7th seal preceding the second coming? No. 7? 144,000? No. 6? Christian martyrs in heaven. There were no Christian martyrs, Bruce. They weren't even in existence yet. 9? No. 10? No. I don't memorize. I know you guys do, and you're great on Jeopardy. I don't memorize. Did Bruce R. McConkie not even put it in the footnotes? Or did not put it in the chapter headings? 11, 2 prophets slain. That was Joseph Smith and Hiram. So oh my God. Hello. 4 horse men. Seriously? Black horse. Revelation 6. Yeah, Bruce R. McConkie did not label it. Christ opens the 6 seals, and John sees the events therein. In the 5th seal, he sees the Christian martyrs. And in the 6th, the signs of the times. You mean the day and the hour? I thought no man knew the day or the hour, Bruce. Is that why you changed it to times, not day and hour? Okay, so we have white horse. Okay. Putin is pale for the poisoning that he does. Oh, right. So white horse is Kim Jong-un. And then the red horse is Xi. XI, whatever that means. And then the black horse is Trump, and then the pale horse is Putin. Yay! Okay. Fascinating. And then, yeah, I'm not resurrecting that. I have to search for it. Don't even get me started. I needed help. I didn't know in the beginning that I would need to do that. And then it got overwhelming, and then it became a project, and so projects piled up on each other, and then I don't get anything done. So, George Albert Smith. As Idaho chick is the one who recommended this. And so this is how I found out about it. David Hughes Horn on the 26th of March 1989 claims that George Albert Smith, president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, in October 1947 came to his ward and told them that a nuclear attack would take place on a holiday after the new president was elected, but before he took office. And it hasn't happened since. And so here we are. Another president has been elected. He hasn't taken office, so it's not Biden. Sure enough, it's not the one who's the incumbent. This is what it means. A new president is elected, and before he can take office, so it's not the incumbent presidents from the past. Okay? And so Reagan was an incumbent president. Bush Jr., the decider, was a 2-term. Obama, 2-term. And Clinton, he was a 2-term. So no nuclear attack on America. Okay? And so here we are. Another election has just happened, and it's not the incumbent president. But before he took office, there are only 2 holidays between this election and when January 20th comes along next year. And that is Christmas and New Year's. So again, we have a second one for Christmas. Okay? And then we have our Book of Mormon. When you understand that this is not literal history, when you understand 9/11/1826, in Canandaigua, New York, where Joseph Smith Sr. is the master mason, helping William Morgan with a book to warn America of a future attack by the Illuminati. And so this was specifically written in prophetic Jewish code with prophetic revelatory code for the day and hours. Or, as Bruce R. McConkie wanted to cover it up and hide it as, times. And so, 3rd Nephi, chapter 7, it takes 3 confirmations of 3 separate distinct tests to establish a fact. Now behold, I will show unto you that they did not establish a king over the land. But in the same year, yea, the 30th year, they did destroy upon the judgment seat, yea, did murder the chief judge of the land. See the pattern match? The elected leader did not get into office, and murder. And then 8 through 10 is a massive destruction that occurs, causing 3 days of darkness. Okay, so this is written in story form, just like the Jews wrote stories, but it's prophecies, it's revelations, and as a result of this death, preventing a leader from taking leadership, getting leadership position, the tribal groups divided. There were no more the United Tribes of Nephi. They are now the divided, separated, divorced tribes of Nephi. Hey, we're the United States of America, and we have a constitutional republic very similar to the constitutional republic of the Nephites called the Laws of Mosiah. Captain Moroni? Okay. The regulations of their federal government were destroyed because of the secret combinations of those who murdered Joseph and Hiram back in 1844. This is the 180th year from that event. Tree of Life? Anybody? Anybody? And so, yeah. Not a coincidence. The death of Joseph Smith is resurrected 180 years later by the Mormon who would be the Mormon Christ. Fulfilling prophecy, having the keys of the man like Moses, who is the Jewish Christ, who would be a seer, prophet, revelator, translator of Paleo-Hebrew and Egyptian. So Mormons would not be deceived by a false prophet. Oops. Okay. So 3 confirmations. And you may say, well, no, they got to be exactly the same. We have more that tie in. Because thanks to Jessica, so cool, so cool. Where are you, Jessica? Did I already transfer? Oh, no. Did I? No, there you are. And that's not the right one. I want the other one. Because I should have put this in the video this morning, and I couldn't see it. And so, little Jessica, faithful Mormon, has the wrong interpretation, is a part of the church's MLM pyramid or Ponzi scheme, whatever you want to call it, where she is forced to pay the extortion price to the church to potentially prostitute her husband unless she's going to be a good girl and stay at home barefoot, pregnant, and in the kitchen. Let me know about that website. And so, on her mission, she first goes to Australia. And then something happened in 2020. She was forced to go to the North Dakota mission. But nonetheless, her mission president sent out a letter to parents and to stake presidents of it's what they do. Mission presidents do that. So I think the Barton did for mine, but definitely Creole Coford did. And I'm not sure when, if it was Christmas time or summertime or whenever they did it. I'm not sure when or why or how or who or what, where, why. They might, must, can, could, shall, should, would. Whatever. But he had come from a missionary meeting in Las Vegas, Nevada on the 14th of March, 2020. And when he gives this letter, which I should have that still here, yep, March 26th, 2020, that's when he did it. And so, little Jessica, out on her mission, 19 years old, born in 2020, that's why she was doing the thing at the temple that erected in 2020. So cute. Nonetheless, he tells them in closing, oh my God, seriously, I'm not seeing this. Red is not my attracting color. I need pink in the picture so I can see it. Because I see Jessica with the pink flowers, and it's sort of purple, but and if, in case you didn't see the first video with the collection of pictures of Jessica, you'll see one that is not of Jessica. It's of what's inside her secret, sacred purse. And so yes, Swedish fish is in the purse. That's why the Swedish fish. She likes Swedish fish. So do I. They're good. And they're usually cheaper than the other candies, I've noticed. But nonetheless, he closes by quoting Dallin H. Oaks, who in 2020, March 14th, to missionaries, mission presidents, a missionary meeting in Las Vegas, Nevada, as I had to correct the information by finding out this original letter, because that other Mormon, and he then goes on to confirm it, because mission presidents don't have authority, with somebody who doesn't have authority, who published a book Use the same quote. Mormons, stop it. Stop. This is not the end of the world, but merely a test, a trial run for the second coming. And what's the second coming? Jesus comes from outer space, murders people, even the righteous, and coups government. Okay? Second coming. We celebrate the first coming for Christians on the 25th of December. Christmas. And so, enter Fox News. Trump is all about getting people to say Merry Christmas. And yet, the mainstream media and late night comedy are turning that into the phrase war on Christmas. On gets an extra quotation. War on Christmas. George Albert Smith and Kim Jong-un. War on Christmas. Number 4, technically number 5. And I can add a whole bunch of stuff if we're going to talk about Christian interpretation, LDS Church also, for the second coming of Jesus. With mass murder. War. Jesus is declaring war to coup the governments. Mass murder. You see in the pattern here. All of the scriptures are Jewish. What are you doing? That's not what the Jews are talking about. The Jews are talking about the enemy, who are the Greeks, who took over the Jerusalem temple and began offering pigs on the altar and prostituting women. That's the abomination of desolation as spoken of by Daniel. But Christians turned it into war. And Joseph Smith then says, "They that come shall burn you." So yes, it's an eternal law. It's repeated. And Christmas is established as the fact for the day it's going to happen. War on Christmas. You have Hannity, war on Christmas. And who is she? I don't care. She's evil. War on Christmas. And boom, she's in Las Vegas, Nevada. Just like Oaks was. Huh. You're not Bill O'Reilly. It says it's the O'Reilly factor. So apparently she was being consulted on his show, or she took it over for that night or day or whenever it was that was held. Okay? So evangelicals overwhelmingly voted for Trump in 2016. Why? King Cyrus? Jesus! He's the chosen one. Somebody had to do it. Somebody had to do it. Somebody had to do it. How about the one who's prophesied to do it? See, they don't expect him to show. They don't believe in the Jews. They use the Jews for their own purposes to cause the destruction. You all fell for it. And so, just as I had told you, and I got punished. That's why I'm here. The way to perfection Joseph Fielding Smith. There's a reason why I'm cyber terrorized. There's a reason why YouTube tries to shut me down and silence me and attack me with their bigoted racist hatred, because the Jews are both a religion and a culture. And so, under keys of the everlasting kingdom, then we have thrones to be cast down under the gathering at Adam-on-Diamond. And then closing with by the voice of the priesthood. This is what he's talking about. There will be a council in Adam-on-Diamond before the coming of Jesus for mass murder and government coup. And he says there will be a transfer of authority from Lucifer to Jesus of government. Biden's supposed to hand it over to Jesus. Oh no, Trump got elected, so Trump has to hand it over to Jesus, because we're not Christian. We don't believe that Jesus is working through Trump. Because Jesus has a physical body subject to the laws of physics to violate them. Oh my God. See, Mormons would never see Jesus in their toast. That's a Christian thing. Their church is true because they saw Jesus in the toast. For Mormons, it's a spiritual witness feeling, even though he's physical and has to conform to the laws of physics. Dear God. But both Christians and Mormons have to force their interpretation, which means they have to do all the work, not Jesus. And so when Nelson is telling you in the coming days, you're going to see the marvelous powers of Jesus. Yeah, I don't see any Jesus. Oh, but I see the church trying to overthrow the Constitution, tampering with the elections, as we get to go over Oaks again. And so yes, this is my exposure of Oaks. Before I found out about Oaks, this was back in 2021, after conference that October. Church was pissed. And the Strengthening Church Members Committee was ordered by the church to get me. And so yeah, nobody's supposed to know about this. This is a secret combination. The world will not know of it. Members of the church will not know of it. The world cannot know of it. Saints cannot know of it. That's a secret combination to murder and coup governments. And he's oblivious to what he just said. He thinks it's Jesus. So that's sad. He was indoctrinated by the Danites under Heber, who took care of him. And yet, he was purposely kept out of the little group, but not Heber J. Grant. Not Heber J. Grant. So, because yeah, Joseph Fielding Smith, Sr., had said that the church will eventually get so rich that Mormons will not need to pay tithing anymore. The church will stop the practice of prostituting wives because the church will be so rich from the prostitution prize of 8-year-olds. And so yes, following the Idaho chick and such, I again thought of doing when Molly Mormon was prostituted by Peter Priesthood. And how all of us at 8 years old have to pay the church to be chaste and deny our sexual natures. Again, laws of physics. We are human because we breed. And for the church to tell us not to be human, not to breed, is sexual abuse. And of 8-year-olds, oh my hell. See, the church hasn't stopped sexually abusing kids. All of you don't get it. There's a reason why bishops, prior to the Protect LDS Children movement, they got the church prophets to force the same questions to adults. But yeah, the church, by the payment of tithing, is sexually abusing us. The underwear. Women are not supposed to get a job. Women are not supposed to go on missions. They're supposed to get married. And so the husband is supposed to be the one to pay the prostitution price for his wife, not the Roman period practice of men also being prostituted. And so God, the underwear that women get when they get married is the symbol of their sexual abuse. The bondage to the church. The law of obedience. Obey your husband. It's still in the family proclamation. It's still in the sealing text. Women give herself to her husband, and she must obey him. Just because Nelson tweaked the wording in the law of obedience, you didn't follow it through. You still have to obey your husband. You are still a prostitute to him. You're still being sex trafficked if you and your husband are from different states or from different countries. And all of you had to pay the church since you were 8 years old. This is a sex cult to the extreme, such that it's not actually a cult. It's a sex trafficking, child sex trafficking criminal operation worldwide. And you know how frustrating it is that my government won't do anything to stop them. That the local authorities only go after the FLDS churches. It's just so sick and wrong. So, multiple confirmations, established law. So, only fact that it will happen on Christmas. War on Christmas. On Christmas. And I say these things in my name.